Hey guys, this is LYnx here, and I have something very, I guess, kind of serious that I would like to talk about. Um, People who know me personally know my stand on domestic violence and domestic abuse. And I'm not for it, I'm not about it, I don't agree. Um, but that being said, I get a text message from a friend of mine who I have not heard from since God left Chicago. Like, I have not heard from this guy in such a long time. He had started dating someone and just kind of dropped off the face of the earth. My texts weren't ever returned or anything like that, and it's just kind of like, wow, dude, we're friends. Where are you? Uh, well, he popped up today. Popped up today and sent me a text message informing me that for the past 2 years, he's been being beaten. He started seeing this guy, and the guy just kind of took over his life, took over everything, and was literally beating him up over this type of stuff. Now, I know how a lot of people feel about this. They're just kind of, if it was a man and a woman, it would be just unimaginable. It would be horrible. He'd be the new Chris Brown. He'd be the new Ike. People be losing their minds over the incident. But because it's two guys, people tend to go, well, they're two men. They're just being men. No, boo. Mm-mm. Domestic violence is any time that, two people in a domestic relationship are living together, yada yada, and one is actually being physically, emotionally, verbally abusive to this person. That is what domestic violence is. You go to other countries like Canada, and domestic violence between people of the same sex is treated no differently than domestic violence between people of the opposite sex. But of course, this really kind of got me going, and it got me going because of my own experience with domestic violence. And there are some key triggers that I think people need to look out for. Now, I wasn't the one in the relationship being beaten. I was the child of the person in the relationship being beaten, and I was also suffering physical shit as well. And, I asked the question, and I always ask the question, and it's why? Why didn't you leave? Why are you still there? Why? And they all say the same thing. Oh, if he could just get on his feet, I know this will change. Oh, I know he loves me. I'm hoping he'll change. Oh, I know things will get better. They don't get better. Now, I told my friend that I was going to do this video and that I was not going to put his name in it. But I told him that this is something that really should be addressed. And it's kind of hard for me to address it because it is something that hits so personal and so home. So, some things to look out for beforehand. When they try to control you, your going out or your being with your friends, that's a form of isolation. And that form of isolation makes it easier for them to do the things that they're going to do. And a lot of these relationships always start off great. They start off so nice, and then all of a sudden it's a slow decline. First it's, why are you going out all the time? Then it's, criticizing every move you make, every breath you take. They criticize it. And then it moves on from there to making threats. Hey, if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to pop you one. And it moves from threats to real physical violence. Now, when I think about older generations and domestic abuse between man and woman, you got to realize these people grew up with the honeymooners, for instance, where anytime Ralph Cramden's wife would piss him off, he would threaten to hit her so hard that she would go bang zoom to the moon. You would see older movies where, the woman is hysterical and the guy would just slap and everything was okay. So for my growing up with this, the way police treated it, where it was just kind of like, well, what did you do? Asking the woman, what did you do? Like it was her fault. Um, and then what they'll do after the episode of violence, they'll profess how much they love you, how much they need you, how much you're the only thing that they have, and that they'll never do it again. And you might get 2 weeks, sometimes 1 week, where you can sleep at night. And then it's right back to where it was from the beginning, you know? Sorry. Um, so it doesn't change. I got to live with it and watch it and be affected by it for years. Years. And it was always the same story. I didn't mean it. I swear I'm going to stop. I swear I will never do it again. I love you. So, back to my friend. He's telling me the story as to the latest ass whooping he got. And that he was afraid to call the cops. I told him he needed to leave. At which point he said, I can't. I love him. I can't. He loves me. I can't. I don't have the money. I can't. This is going to blow over. I can't. Things will change. And I'm just letting all of you know, it doesn't change. If he puts his hands on you once, he will put his hands on you again. That's the way the statistics go. If they put their hands on you once, they'll put their hands on you again. The moment you allow them to think that, they can put their hands on you and then apologize for it, and then you'll come back, they know that they can get away with that. They'll start doing other things. They swear you're the only one. They start seeing other women or other men or other whatever. It's a never-ending cycle, and it's a cycle that is just as prevalent in the gay community as it is in the straight community. It's just that in the gay community it is seen differently because the people are of the same sex. If two women are in a domestic dispute, these are just two girls being catty. If they're two guys and they're just guys being guys, why can't you fight him off? You're supposed to be a man. And a lot of that triggers why I haven't heard from him in so long. I haven't heard from him in so long because he was afraid. He was afraid to talk to me or anyone else about the issue because he's a man, because he's expected to be, able to take care of himself. And he's not just a man. He's one of those big, burly, athletic bears. I mean, he's a big guy. And if domestic violence can affect and make a victim of someone who is so physically capable, it could make it of anybody. And when I ask why he didn't defend himself, why didn't you fight back? Show him that he cannot put his hands on you. He said because he loved him too much to hurt him. Love is Helen Keller. The bitch is deaf, the bitch is blind. And he was literally putting his life in danger because he couldn't see past his own emotions. And the fear. The fear of being alone, the fear of losing this. I don't care how much it hurts. It's never going to hurt more than your being dead. Most people who endure and survive these types of things don't survive without physical and mental scars. And those who just don't make it, they end up being killed. And they end up being killed by the very person that they love and that they thought loved them, even though they were beating the crap out of them. So if you find yourself in a situation in which the person that you are with, the person that you love, the person that claims to love you, is hurting you physically, emotionally, verbally, you have to find a way out, because it's not just your life that's going to be your family, your friends. If you have children, your children. Trust me, I know. Everybody will be affected by this. So I'm going to end it here because I'm just kind of having a hard time talking about it. It's because it's bringing up a lot of personal shit. But my stand is, if he hits you once, he'll hit you again. If he hits you once, you need to leave. If he threatens to hit you, you need to leave. Because that threat will soon be followed up with real physical violence. If they are antagonizing you over everything, if they are criticizing every move you make, the way you make dinner, the fact that you got home 5 minutes late, it's not worth it in the end. You end up alienating your friends, your family, all for this person who wants to destroy you. Don't let them destroy you. What are your thoughts on domestic violence? Same-sex domestic violence, opposite-sex domestic violence? Whatever you guys, any anecdotes you might have, any experiences that you want to share. The experience that I want to share is that, yeah, I'm a product of a household that was filled with domestic violence. I decided that I was not going to ever live my life that way and to end that cycle as soon as I was an adult. And even in my worst, I haven't put my hands on anyone that I'd ever dated or been with, at least not in that way. And I don't think anyone should have to live this way. If you are going through it, there are support groups, there are friends, there are family. Don't be afraid to speak with these people, the people who love you, the people who really love you. Don't be afraid to speak with them. Just because my friend hadn't spoke to me in 2 years, I made sure that I was as open as I possibly could be to him and for him. I understand exactly where he is, and I understand where he's coming from. I can only hope that he'll gather the strength to move on. Yeah, I fully expect to either one day find him on my doorstep or to one day find out that he's dead. Because that is how serious domestic violence can be. And I don't want to find that out for anybody. So, yeah, that's my video for today. And, yeah, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share. And share this. Share the story. Share the opinion with people who you know that are in trouble. And if you're in trouble yourself, you got to get out and you got to ask for help. Hopefully my next video won't be so down, but this was something that kind of sort of needed to be addressed, especially in today's world where we're looking at the very real possibility of same-sex marriage coming through and everything else. We have to deal with those problems that straight people have to deal with too. And I think that it's important to address them and to address them quickly. So, yeah, that's it. Hope everybody has a great week. And, yeah, bye.